We will get the Ubuntu ISO from the Ubuntu website. So we will go to ubuntu.com and click on the download link. Here in the Ubuntu server, we will select the ARM version for M1, M2 Mac virtual machines. So in the Ubuntu server options, we can have different releases, and I will go ahead download the current version, which is 23.04. I will download this ISO file to my downloads folder. I already have downloaded, so I will cancel this download. You can go ahead and download your copy. So in Fusion, create a custom virtual machine and click continue. Under systems, we will select Ubuntu 64-bit ARM and continue. And here we will create a new virtual disk and click continue. Under customize settings, I will rename the server name as 23.04 64-bit ARM and save it. In the settings, I will go ahead and increase my processor cores to 4 processor cores and then allocate 40 GB of hard disk space to the virtual machine because Ubuntu requires minimum of 30 GB. And then click on CD/DVD drive and select the ISO that we have just downloaded. So I will go ahead and select the Ubuntu 23.04 server ISO and click open. And connect the CD/DVD drive so that it will boot up from the CD/DVD drive. We will start the virtual machine by simply clicking on the play button. It will take some time for booting up. So it is booting up from the CD/DVD drive. Now we can hit enter to install or try Ubuntu server. It will take some time and it may throw out some errors. You can ignore those errors and go ahead with the installation process. So here it takes some time. We will wait for the terminal commands. We will select English as our language and hit enter. Continue without updating. We don't want to update the installer because I have downloaded this ISO only recently. Hit enter to continue without updating. And it will show you the keyboard layout. We will select the default one and continue. And we can select different types of installation. I will go ahead with the default Ubuntu server installation and hit enter. And we can go ahead, hit enter, and I don't have any proxy server address, so I will go ahead and hit enter, and it will automatically download and add the mirrors for the Ubuntu installation. So it will connect to the internet and it will get the mirror addresses automatically. And once it is done, I will hit enter to go to the next step. So it does some test in the package and all the mirror address checking, and it takes some time and we can go to the next step. And I will go ahead and accept the hard disk setup, which is by default given to me. I will go ahead without any modification because I have already allocated 40 GB, and I will accept the default configuration and go ahead with the installation. Here you need to give some information. I'll put my name here, and I need to give the server name and an username for the system. Also a password for logging in to the Ubuntu server or the Ubuntu desktop later on. Confirm the password and hit enter to continue with the installation. I will select this install op and SSH server option and go ahead with the next step. And it may take some time for the next step to come. Here you can select different types of containers. I will go ahead just for the sake of selecting, I'll go ahead with the Docker option, and I will select some of the versions. You will be given some versions, and I will select one of the version and go ahead with the installation. You can select any other things that if you would require to have it in your system. You can have this Nextcloud and other system containers. I'll select the version of the container and go ahead with the installation with this Docker container from Canonical. And it is up to you. You may not select any of these options and go ahead with the installation. This is for my system. I am just selecting this. So it will take some time, and I will fast forward it for the installation to complete. So it takes a little bit of time. It will depend on the internet connectivity as well sometimes, and also the speed of your processor as well. So it is installing the systems. I am not going to keep it running for the entire install system. Now the installation is complete and it needs to be rebooted. Once you reboot into the new installation, what will happen is that you need to log into your new system using the password that you have provided in during the installation of the system. So I will log in with my installation password credentials, and first things that you need to do in a new installation is to update the packages. So once it loads up, I will go ahead and update the packages by using these commands: sudo apt update. We can update and upgrade the packages using a single command, but I'll go ahead with one command each time. I'll check for an update, and then I'll put one more command, apt upgrade, and go ahead and upgrading the system if any update is available. Select Y for yes, and it will upgrade the system and download some of the stuff. Now we will install Ubuntu desktop on top of the server environment, which is only command line interface. Now we will install Ubuntu desktop. It will install the GNOME or the GNOME environment using that command that was shown on your screen. It takes a little bit of time, and I have fast forwarded the whole process. It took me an hour for the whole installation to complete. So it takes some time. It will depend on the internet connectivity that you have, because it will download almost 2 gigabyte of data from the internet for the installation of the GNOME desktop environment. Now it is done. GUI installation is complete. Now we need to reboot the system so that we can log into the GUI. You need to enter your password again for the rebooting. Now it is rebooting, and I'll wait for some time because it is a reboot and it's pretty fast. It's not taking too much of time. And I will have the new GNOME environment. Here it is. This is the graphical user interface. I'll enter my password and log into the Ubuntu desktop system. So this is it in all its beauty. The GNOME environment. We can skip sending any reports to Ubuntu canonical servers. I don't want my location services. We can go ahead and install different softwares. I will skip that for the time being. I'll show you how it works. Let us boot up or open up Firefox. So it is working fine. This is how you can install Ubuntu desktop on your M1 Mac using the Fusion 13 from VMware. So thank you very much.